Hello, I'm Linda at Crochet Australia. People walk into our shop and see our wall of hooks and say, wow, what do you use them all for? Or how do I choose the hook that I need? This video, we're going to take you through the different types of hooks from your regular crochet to your special crochet. And if you're choosing your hook, what are the types of things to consider? So firstly, when you're doing regular crochet, how do you choose the hook that you would like to use? Firstly, start with your hold. Is it a pen hold or a knife hold? Holding your hook like a pen is just like that, as if you were writing. This is how I hold my hook when I crochet, or there's holding it like a knife, as if you were going to cut a piece of steak. I use this hold on larger hooks like the 8 and 10 mil hooks, as they're harder to hold the other way. Most hooks can cater for both styles. This is the Clover soft touch hook, and you'll see it's got a hard resin handle, wide but thin, and it has this lovely soft pad here that you rest your thumb on. Whether you use the pen hold or the knife hold, this hook works quite well. There is also the Clover Amour hook. Now it has a rounded handle. You can see it's all quite round there, but much thicker where your thumb goes. Again, it can cater for both holds, whether you hold it like a pen or you hold it like a knife. Then you have the Addi hook, swing hook. Now it's curved rather than being straight like the other two. And the idea here is that it actually fits nicely around your hand when you have the knife hold. So it bends and curves around the inside of your hand and makes it quite easy to use. If you like the pen hold like I do, again, it can bend up and go over the top of your hand. I find this a little bit awkward holding it in this hand because it's quite heavy at the end and my hand is a bit small. But if you have larger hands or bigger hands that go back further, this could actually still be useful in this hold. Another thing to consider is whether you roll your hook. And when I mean roll your hook as you crochet, it's rolling it around in your hand. Now I tend to hold mine quite firm so it doesn't roll. This is where the Amour hooks are quite good. So if you do roll it in your hand, the handle being a bit rounder enables that to happen quite easily. The soft touch, on the other hand, it doesn't roll quite so well. In fact, it's very good if you don't roll, and it keeps it very still. And again, the Addi swing is good because you can roll it in your hand quite well. Do your hands ache after you've used your hooks? The old traditional straight hooks, whether they're steel, aluminium or plastic, can be quite thin and your hands or fingers actually cramp up when you're holding them. This strains your fingers right at the edge of your thumb and fingers and your wrist. So that strain after a while can make your whole hand or fingers ache in all of these spots. So one way to avoid that is to get your ergonometric hooks, and this is what these hooks are. They come with these handles built onto them. So it explains you've got the soft touch with the hard resin handle and the little soft pad. You've got the Amour with the rounded rubbery handle. You've got the Addi swing. There are of course others, but we don't stock them at the store. Other things to consider with these when you're looking at your ergonometric hooks are the length of your shaft of the hook. And you can see each of these have different lengths. Your shortest one is the Addi, next is your Clover soft touch, and the longest one is the Clover Amour. This doesn't mean you need to get rid of all of your straight crochet hooks like this. You can instead buy comfort cushions and add those to your hook. This is what I've done here. The straight steel hook just with this comfort cushion put onto it. So it gives you that lovely ergonometric handle. So it separates your fingers, relaxes your fingers here and takes the strain off. And it's lovely and soft. You can also make this as long as you like. The other types of hook for regular crochet are the Crochet Lite Hooks. As you can see here, again, they're wide, they've got your ergonometric handle, they've got this lovely soft pad for your thumb to rest, so again, whichever way you hold your hook, it will work. The benefit of these are, you turn this on here, and what you've got is a light up light right at the tip of your hook. And you can see here it puts a light right at the end, which is great at night or using dark yarns, because the light goes directly where you need to be making your stitch. It does actually show up brighter the darker it is. So these work off batteries, and you have a little battery case here that you just buy replacement batteries. Now I've had 2 of these. This is a 5.5mm and I've got a 3.5mm hook, which I've had for 2 years. I use on and off, and the battery still is lasting quite well. This hook itself is just an acrylic plastic hook. In summer it can get a little bit sticky with the sweat, depending on what yarn you're actually using, so it's best to try and keep that clean at all times. We then move on to the specialty type of crochet. So we talked about it earlier, there's Tunisian. This gives a knit-like look, as we see here. I'll turn it over. You can see here you can create a knit stitch with a crochet hook. And these are all various stitches you can make with the Tunisian. Tunisian, you need a long hook because you put all of your loops onto your hook and then you take them off. So a little bit like knitting, except you're only using the one hook. You can also create blankets, and so the hooks come with the short hook and then this long flexible cord. So if you need to create a blanket with lots of stitches and loops, they can all be added onto that cord. A related type of crochet is called the double-ended crochet, where you see here we've got hooks. The straight hooks we'll start with, where you've got a hook at either end. It's a form of Tunisian where you put all the loops on your hook, but you're able to change colours at either end, so it enables you to do colour work that is reversible. These are your double-ended hooks, or crow on the double, as it's also often called. And like the Tunisian hooks, they can come with a regular hook with a long cord in between them so that you can do blankets. And there's various lengths for these cords for both the Tunisian and the double-ended hooks. And finally, we also have these hooks with the very long shaft to the hook. So your regular hooks, like this, you often see they taper and then they get a little bit wider. So it's actually a very small end which reflects the size of your stitch. These ones have a long straight section before they go a little bit wider. The idea for these hooks is to do crow tatting, which is very tight lace work, and bullion stitches. So this is what the crow tatting would look like. Very similar to a tatting look, with your tight rings and your lace. After listening to this, you may have said, oh, I want all of those. I'd like to try all these different types of crochet. Well, the other thing that's available are what's called interchangeable hook sets. You have all of the hook sizes plus the cords that you can take on and off those hooks, so that you can create the flexible cords of various lengths for your Tunisian crochet, or you can create a normal crochet hook, all using the same end. I hope that's been useful for you to help you understand the different hooks we have and how to choose what might work for you. If there are other hooks you'd like to know about, please contact us. Thank you.